Alrighty, Giants fans, we have some breaking news here on the channel following Giants-Jets preseason game number 3. Joe Schoen has already started to make some roster moves and trim down this roster from 90 to 53 players. The deadline is this Tuesday. Every team across the National Football League must be at that 53 players by then. And Joe Schoen, early on a Sunday morning, is already getting some moves made. The Giants have released 7 players following the game. We're going to go bit by bit, and we'll go every single player at one time. And I think the most notable player that has been released is James Robinson, running back signed by the Giants in NFL free agency right around the time Joe Schoen and Saquon Barkley were unable to get that long-term deal done at that franchise tag deadline. I believe the date was July 17th. It just sounded like James Robinson didn't have much left in the tank. I know he had a really good start to his career in Jacksonville, but then he was traded to the Jets and injuries started to haunt him there. Then he was signed with the New England Patriots back in like April or May of free agency this past year, and he was released 2 months later after signing a 2-year deal. So it just didn't sound like he had much left in the tank. Didn't look all that good in training camp, but I did like what I saw from him in the preseason game last night versus the New York Jets. Had a couple of nice, really tough runs, one running specifically off the right side, dragged 2-3 defenders for 4 or 5 yards, had another run where he popped it off to the left side. But I think the Giants are happy with what they have at that running back position. You know Saquon Barkley is going to make it. You know Matt Breida is going to make it, as well as 5th-round pick Eric Gray out of Oklahoma. Will they keep 4 backs? That's the question that I'm trying to get an answer to right now. It sounds like Jashaun Corbin is really on the roster bubble. I think he deserves to make the team because I believe in the philosophy. If you go out there and make plays in the preseason, you stand out and you help this team, pick up first downs and make chunk plays, you deserve to make the team, and that is what Jashaun Corbin did. I just don't know if he's going to make this roster, if the Giants will keep 3 or 4 running backs. But James Robinson is the first player cut for the New York Giants. This is why you subscribe to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Whether we're at home, whether we're in front of the fridge, shout out to my man Bill, or we're at the studio, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible breaking down the latest Giants news and rumors, and roster cuts are here. So now is the time to turn on your notifications. Go ahead and do so right now. Go down, hit subscribe, hit that big red bell, and change the settings to all so you never miss a video whatsoever. Cut number 2, wide receiver Jaydon Mickens. It's a really crowded wide receiver room. I always had him penciled in as a cut candidate, and his time with the Giants, at least for now, is coming to a close. He was signed by the Giants last year during the season when Richie James fumbled those 2 punts against the Seattle Seahawks. He was on the practice squad. Would not be shocked if the Giants bring him back on the practice squad this year, but his time with Big Blue right now is currently over. The Giants have a lot of tough decisions to make at the wide receiver position. We know who's all there. Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, Isaiah Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, Colin Johnson, David Sills, Cole Beasley, Bryce Ford-Wheaton, Khalil Templeton, Jamison Crowder, and was Jaydon Mickens, who is no longer on this football team. I will say, very intriguing that Sterling Shepard was returning punts last night for the Giants in their 3rd preseason game. I think he's safe. I think he's going to make this 53-man roster, but I think that was interesting, and I like to pick up on those things. The Giants, they did make 3 moves across the defensive line. Donovan Jeter, no longer on this team. Brandon Bryant, no longer on this team. And Kevin Atkins find themselves as free agents at this current moment. They have all 3 been released by the Giants. So now you're looking at a defensive line depth chart that features Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Ashawn Robinson, Ryder Anderson, DJ Davidson, Rakeem Nunez-Roches, and Riley Jordan, as well as Kobe Smith. That's 8 guys right there. The Giants are not going to keep 8 players. If I had to guess, I think Kobe Smith will be released, and I think DJ Davidson might be a practice squad candidate. Riley Jordan has earned the right to make this football team. So you got Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Robinson, Rakeem Nunez-Roches, and Jordan Riley. Those are the only 5 that I'm going to write in pen. I still think you're looking at a potential roster spot for Ryder Anderson and DJ Davidson. I think there's only 1 spot for those guys to go around. But if we get any more news, info, or updates, we will continue to keep you up to date. There was also a cut on the offensive line, and this is a player that was just signed a couple of days ago. Julian Davenport, the offensive tackle, wore number 71 for the Giants, played last night, gave up a sack, didn't think he looked all that good. I actually had him as a loser in our post-game show last night. Not actually a loser, but we do a winners and losers segment, guys on the roster bubble. And I thought Julian Davenport just didn't look like an NFL tackle at this point. Looked slow to get out of his stance. And I think that the film didn't lie for when the Giants watched it once again this morning. Bobby Johnson, Brian Dable, and Mike Kafka, as well as Joe Schoen, have come to the understanding that Julian Davenport will not be on this team. So you have Evan Neal, Mark Lewinsky, John Michael Schmitz, Ben Bredeson, Andrew Thomas. Those five, 100% going to make it. Joshua Izudu, 100% going to make this football team. That's 6 guys right there. I believe Marcus McKeithen is a lock to make this team. That's 7 guys. So you're looking at, Tyree Phillips, a guy that's been battling injuries, who started to practice this week, make the team. I don't think Shane Lemieux will make the team. I don't think Sean Harlow is going to make the team. I do think Matt Parrott will make the team, even though he was god-awful last night, and to be honest, has been terrible in the preseason. I think Corey Cunningham is gone. I think Wyatt Davis is gone. And I think Jack Anderson is on thin ice. I'm not sure if he will be cut, but I'm not sure if he will make the roster as well. 6 cuts down, 1 more to talk about. Darren Evans, the defensive back, plays corner for this football team. Actually had that pass breakup last night on that deep pass from Zach Wilson to McCole Hardman. 55-yard pass. I honestly count it as a drop for McCole Hardman more than a pass breakup, but Evans was able to stay step for step with a 4.3 40 guy in Hardman and found a way to poke the ball out and force an incompletion. I always thought he would not make this team, because when you look at this corners, Adoree Jackson's going to make it, Deontay Banks is going to make it, and Trey Hawkins is going to make it. That's 3 guys right there. Then, Cordell Flott's going to make this football team. That's 4 guys right there. And then you enter the roster bubble. Guys like Amani Oruwariye, Nick McLeod, Darnay Holmes. I expect Zion Gilbert to either be a practice squad guy or him get cut. I think Nick McLeod is going to make this team kind of as that joker wild card guy, play a little slot corner, play a little safety. So I have the Giants for sure keeping Jackson, Hawkins, Deontay Banks, Cordell Flott. I think they'll keep 6 guys, and I think it's going to be Darnay Holmes. And if you want to count McLeod as that 6th guy, who he might be a joker, maybe they go up and end up keeping Amani Oruwariye. I don't think he's looked good in the preseason, and I don't think he's looked good in camp, but it's hard to find outside corners that have professional experience, and Oruwariye is one of the few guys that does. Alrighty, so the 7 guys that were cut. James Robinson, running back. Jaden Mickens, wide receiver. Donovan Jeter, Brandon Bryant, Kevin Atkins, all defensive linemen. And you got Julian Davenport, O-lineman, and Darren Evans. 7 cuts so far. The Giants are down to 83 players on the roster. Unfortunately, 30 more players will get the call to come to Joe Schoen's office and bring their playbook. It's a terrible time in the NFL. All these people that have been chasing this dream their entire life are going to have a very, very bad day, and I feel bad for all those guys. So I want to do this. If you're still watching this far in the video, light up the comment section and just say thank you. Thank you to all of these players that have busted their butts all off season long, not only to try to make this football team, but make this football team better and be better than they were last year. So to James Robinson, Jaden Mickens, Donovan Jeter, Brandon Bryant, Kevin Atkins, Julian Davenport, and Darren Evans, I just want to say thank you and good luck on your football journey. I hope you guys will join me in the comment section wishing them the best on their future endeavors. As always, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for tuning in to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Watch party was awesome last night. Shout out to Rob Rod. Shout out to Chaw. You guys are legends. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. It's incredible the way these things continue to grow and grow and grow. So thank you. I appreciate you, and we'll see you later.